Hello and welcome back to a New Pace podcast. So, as you know, my name's Leslie and I'm your host, and it's just me today. So, hello. So, I hope you're well, and I just thought, since it's just me, we'll talk about some things relating to this time of year. And we're in spring. I love spring. Spring is my favourite season, all-time favourite season. I love that kind of the feeling that I get being in spring and just recognising the changes in around me. And today I was walking outside feeling that it was just super warm. I had to take my hoodie off and it was almost like too warm for spring, if you know what I mean. So spring has that essence of, oh, the sun's coming out, but then, oh no, it's cold. So woolly hat and sunglasses weather around this time of year, I often call it. And that's what I enjoy seeing, the kind of the daffodils and the plants and different things emerging in my garden. My garden's not very tidy, but I still see the joyfulness of the daffodils, which I think are quite underrated, really. But the crocuses and daffodils and all of those this time of year is great. So, in reference to spring, the idea of springing into expression comes to mind, and I've used this for quite a lot of my different workshops. The name of the workshop, to create art and to express yourself and spring into life, spring into a more bouncy version of you, energized version of you. And if you're feeling flat, sad, anxious, low in mood, if you're grieving or if you're burnt out, then it can be really strange to feel that this idea of bouncing into something can feel really hard and out of reach. However, actually, those small things can make a huge difference. So going for a walk outside can make a huge difference. Spending some time in nature can make a huge difference. And doing some artwork, doing something creative, spending time with people, socializing, spending a bit of time with people. It's so easy sometimes, especially if you live alone, to end up not seeing anybody for a long time. You could spend days of not really going anywhere. So this time of year encourages people to come out of hibernation, outside. We've been watching these sort of winter Olympics, and then we're getting into the spring season. So I'm really wanting to encourage you to kind of see this as almost like a new year. So when it's January, we often, we set in those New Year resolutions, and we're thinking, we'll set some New Year things. We've got a goal that we want to do. And some people are really on it, proper on it. Other people just aren't quite there yet, doesn't quite feel right. Whereas stepping into spring is, in my opinion anyway, a better time to set goals and to start some habits that you might not have been into doing for a while. So it's a good time to be outside. It's a good time to be, if you're wanting to do more exercise, if you're wanting to spend more time in the garden, for instance, if you're wanting to spend more time like reading, or any hobbies and habits that you're wanting to start doing. If you're wanting to eat more nutritious food, now's a great time to do it, because we can just feel fresher. Like it feels like a distinct time to make those changes. And as the clocks go forward in the UK, that can be a really clear time as well to kind of go, okay, clock's going forward, we're going to spring into expression, and we're going to do things with intention. So if you are feeling inspired to do something, motivated to do something, then it can be easier anyway, even if it's the difficult task, to get going, to get started. However, if you are lacking motivation or had some self-doubt, wasn't sure what to do, wasn't sure how to go about doing that task, or didn't have the energy, the same amount of energy as you've maybe had in the past, then rather than relying on motivation and inspiration to do those things, it's really important to be able to be disciplined to do things. Sometimes people associate discipline with simply with things like going to the gym or doing sort of household jobs maybe. And they might think that creativity doesn't need discipline because you do it when you're inspired. However, actually, sometimes waiting until you're inspired is ideal because you can feel really aligned. You can we've got this bolt of an idea, this lightning bolt of an idea, and it's like, yes, we've got this urgency to do something, to make art like it's going out of fashion. It's like we've got this desire to do something, and that's amazing. However, if the only time that you're creating something is when you're inspired, then you can miss out on a lot of opportunities to create. You can miss out on a lot of the benefits that making art can have to your life, because art in itself can really energize you and relax you and boost your mood, all kinds of things. So many benefits for mental health and confidence levels and well-being. So if you decide to, instead of waiting to be inspired for that sudden bolt of expression to happen, hey, I'm going to spring into expression. Instead of waiting for that to happen, my prompt to you is to plan it. Schedule some creativity. Schedule a time to make some art, to get your sketchbook out and draw or doodle or splodge some paint around, do something. And it might just be 5 or 10 minutes. Or you might decide that you want to have a whole afternoon or a whole day or a whole evening making things and getting into the creative flow, getting your juices flowing. But the key with this is allowing yourself to do it regardless of how you feel, so that you can then get started, and then the momentum of having started, the inspiration comes when you've started, not waiting for inspiration so that you can start. And I love how that can apply to loads of different things. So there's times when I spend the day maybe just wearing kind of old tracky bottom or something. I might have gone to the gym and I might find that I've not really got changed into anything nice afterwards, and then I felt a bit crappy, I felt a bit sluggish. But then there's other times when I go, you know what, even though I'm not going anywhere today, I'm going to dress up well, I'm going to wear some nice clothes, I'm going to do my hair nicely, I'm going to put the effort in, I'm going to put a nice little accessory on or something like that, like work with a nice belt. And not necessarily, you don't need to be doing all sort of big fancy dress or anything like that, or big dopamine dressing. I think is really cool, just wearing something so that you can feel good. It's not necessarily wearing bright colours, but that can apply. But wearing something so that you feel good, so it's not just comfortable, but it's expansive and energising, and that makes you feel confident in what you're wearing. So scheduling those things, planning to put a little curl in your hair, for instance, or planning to wear a nice top when you're staying in, even though you're staying in. Allow yourself to do those things for yourself, and then your energy and your mood are guaranteed to feel like better. It's amazing how these things work, really, doesn't it? But yeah, and I wonder what else we could do in this notion of springing into expression, like springing into life, like with spring cleaning, like a little bit of cleaning, like dusting underneath the sofa and things like that, or whatever it is, or getting out in the garden and doing those things and doing it as like a refreshing, intentional thing. Anyway, so that is just a very quick little podcast episode from me today. We've got some other guests lined up coming on soon, so I'm looking forward to speaking with them and having those conversations. Yes, if you are listening during spring, then I'd love to hear what sort of things you're doing to spring into expression. And if you're listening to this at a different time of year, then I wonder what it feels like to talk about spring, maybe in the winter, or what sort of things you might reflect on and remember about spring. So speak to you soon. Bye bye.